Okay, here we are. About £20 a piece. Let's go and pay our money and see what we got. Over 30 acres of fun for the whole family. There it is. Be fair, it is quite big. It's £20. Can't moan at 1975. That'll be £39.50 then. Here we go. Look at that, old school. Look at that. 4004. 4 litre, 4 cylinder maybe.
4, yeah, 4. Yeah, that's right. 4 cylinder. Yeah,
Could be a 4 litre diesel. That's all it is.
Well, that's a giveaway, look, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what that
Might be a clue in its name. CJ Lee, Sandy Bay in Exmouth. Hey, that's come from nearby. Sandy Bay, that's the beach.
That is, yeah.
That's local. Always had stuff like that on the late 70s Famous Five, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's always a gypsy in a caravan. Famous Five. Early AA stuff. Automobile Association. There we are. Look at the bike. Little box on the side for his bits. 1921 BSA M21. There we are. Look at that. 600cc bike. Top speed 50-60 mile an hour. That's slow. Compared to now, that's slow. There we are. Look at that. Little hut for the AA man. General engineer, old school petrol pump. It's the AA garage. Clock's not right. So we didn't get the clock going. 30 minutes past 6. No, it's not. 10:30 or so. Private car hire. Little car garage. F. Authors and Son. Hall of Transport, the largest vintage vehicle collection in the southwest, as seen on TV. Just been told it's a Downton Abbey vehicle, so let's go and find that. Got Downton Abbey playlist, I'll link that below. Some Downton Abbey stuff for locations. So let's go and find this Downton Abbey vehicle. Look at that big traction engine. G. Burwell and Sons Limited. TA3067. It's all quite local stuff, I think. Little model. It's good, look at that. North Devon Model Engineers. Yeah, a little bonus transport museum. Had finished YouTube. As this is Downton Abbey, we've got a playlist. Link below. I'll give this. Look at this, old school tools. Planes. Not sure what they are. Oh yeah. Dies. Cutting threads. Get all that now, just a lot more modern. Grinder. Right, Transport Museum, what we got here? A Trabant, 1977. Yeah, January 77. Amtrak, that's American, isn't it? North America, Canada. Little model. What we got here? How was that pulled then? Train? Horse? It's not on a track, it's on wheels. Pulled by a horse, I guess. That's nice, that's called a Vulcan. Let's see what we can see about that. This 1922 Vulcan bus has been restored and rebodied by the World of Country Life from scrap condition. 1922. There we are, look at that. Got it going again. It's nice. Thornycroft. Look at that, old school start. Winey handle, get it going. Ah, this is the Downton Abbey. 1919 Thornycroft J-type shower bank. Shower bank, something like that. This vehicle has appeared several times on BBC's Downton Abbey. There we are. 1919, this one. There we are. In Downton Abbey then. First Ford car, 1896. Old school police uniform there. Look at that. You pedal it, I presume so. Not sure how that works. Let's add an engine slung on the back. Yeah, look at that, it's an early Ford. (1922) Model T. There we are. (1906). It's a bike up the top there. Old school bike. Renault 1909. It's the roof. That's getting old. Peugeot. First registered 1914. The second oldest surviving car company in the world. They are owning both Citroën and Talbot. Peugeot. The new one's Peugeot now, even that might have changed. Bream, that's called a Bream. 1925. Nice stuff. Rolls Royce. 1928. 43 horsepower. And it's a 7.6 litre engine. And it's got less power than the average family car. Big engine, absolutely no guts. He's missing the British Salmon or something. Samson, he's not there. (1938) Ford. Off to Slovenia then. Did a road trip. Peking to Paris. Look at that. So when was that then? 2016, there we are, Peking to Paris. 12 countries over 35 days, 8,510 miles. That's a lot. Morris Cowley, built in Oxford then, so I could get to that on a bicycle. Near town to Oxford where we live. Yeah, look at that, local to us. Built in Oxford, BMW now, Mini, build a Minis there. What have we got here? Humber, 1909. Another Morris Cowley, presumed built in Oxford. There we are, look at that. 1929. Land Rover. It's nice. Look at that. The White Hart Hotel, South Street in Exeter, so local. Norton bikes are quite nice. Norton. And that's got to be a Royal Mail bike. Yeah, so that's going to be the Queen. It's nice. Bits and pieces there, automotive stuff. Fire nozzles, lights, lamps, look at that. It's a steam fire engine. There we are. Look at that. Good stuff. Here we are, model of an engine. Valves move at the top. Look at that little bike, 1984. It's all glass, unfortunately, it's not ideal. Good collection. Reg Imray collection. He likes his bikes, he's going to have a little look. 1986. Little Yamaha Beluga. Yeah. Hard through the glass, I'll do what I can do. Reg Imray collection. Someone's collection then. That's big, it's got to be American. Yeah, a little BMW. All behind the glass are not the best thing to film, unfortunately. 1922. A motorised bike of some sort. Little petrol engine on it. Military police. 1941. US Army. Nice, look. Bits and pieces in the shelves. Cups and stuff. Little models. It's not ideal filming through glass, the best we're going to do. California Highway Patrol. Chips. Remember that on the telly? It's a series, 1980s. Los Angeles. There we are, look at that. Very Chips. 1985, yeah, it is. It's very period to that telly programme. Who remembers Chips? Find something on it, link it below. Nice bikes. There we are, BSA M21. I had one of those earlier. Another building. There we are, BSA English. 1940, that funny looking thing. Look at that. Sort of a bike with an engine put on it, I'm guessing. Nice posters and stuff. Number plates there. German. Looks German, that one. Old school petrol pump. In gallons. Or litres now, long change. I remember it being gallons back in the day. Look at that, Pink Panther. That's been well done, look at that. Pinkest Panther. Falkland Islands, 1982. Bit of the old army issue sort of rucksack. Nice stuff. Here we go, just going to have a little look around the mini arcade. There we are. Little models. They're good, look at that. Ferrari, Aston Martin, Mercedes-Benz. So do these actually work then? Engine, yeah, that one does. Engine is a 70cc taken from a moped with electric start, Struve. So they do actually work then. They're little models, but they do go. Yeah, look at that old school bus. This model was started by Ken Brun, who laid down the steel chassis with a mahogany framework. There we are. Look at that. Little extra, just the other side of the wall to the museum. Morgan three-wheeler. What's that called? Panther 100. Yeah, manufactured in Cleckheaton, Yorkshire. There we are. Come from Yorkshire, that. Land Rover. Obviously lights it work, so they'd be working. Electric would be my guess. That's definitely electric. Sinclair C5, what a flop they were, but people still use them. There's clubs for those. Collectors, see the YouTube videos. Look at that, little petrol engine. That's called a Clark Scamp. 1983, registered 50cc, there we are. Registered as a moped, number plate on the back. All the legal requirements. Let's look at this, I'm guessing that's electric. It's got lights. Doesn't say. That's a shame. Thought the plaque would have been about it, but signage, but no. Okay, it's different. Steam engines, tractors and wagons. Oh, let's go and have a little look. A lot of transport stuff, all inside. Look at that, I've seen better days. Look at that. Used for ploughing, I'm guessing, roadworks. The old traction engines, steam engines. That's a steam wagon by Wallace and Stevens. 1920, look at that. It's nice. A little look round. All the belts moving on that driving sign. Big wheel there. No doubt we had some sort of belt. It's a drive unit for something, I'd imagine. That was driving something else with a big belt. Yeah, little lawnmower. It's called a Patterson. 1937, I think. Struggling to see. Yeah, it's nice. He had to be in the drive for something. On the big wheel there. Big belt of some description. Quaker Oats. Still going now. Buy that in the old supermarket. Looks like a torture instrument. Some sort of ploughing on the fields, be my guess. Here we are. Article there at some point. Just on the mobile phone, the camcorder's gone flat, unfortunately, and the spare battery was flat already. So, mobile phone, bit rough and ready, all I got. Bits and pieces. Sack truck. Don't really change, look. Get them now, sack trucks. Yeah, it's nice. No one in here. Quiet, isn't it? There we are. Wood cutting. Sort of circular saw, whatever you call it. Lathe of some sort. Gotta be in it. Grinding wheel. Here we are, Fordson. 1934, 22 horsepower. Alice Chalmers. Anything about the year? I'm not sure. Don't think they know, not saying when it's registered. There we go, look at that, old tractors and stuff. Austin. Done it Oxford, Austin's. But Austin Rovers in Metros? Surely not. Herbert Austin. No. I'd say nothing to do with the cars. 1921. Look at that. It's like something like a Little House on the Prairie. 1892. Nice things on the wall. Obviously got pulled along, cut the soil up like a plough. Some description. Saunderson, 1912. International Harvester Corporation, 1916. Chicago, it's American. Ah, nice stuff. All agricultural farm stuff. There we go. Nice stuff.